Welcome to Instant Replay for MLS Matchday 16. It's a midweek edition. I'm your host, Andrew Wiebe, and as always, we're taking a closer look at the most controversial refereeing decisions in Major League Soccer. Yes, I know Cincinnati faithful, you weren't so happy with me over the weekend, but we've got another play to look at, this time going the other way. It's a potential violent conduct call against Teenage Hadebe in the 77th minute against Petar Musa. Now on the field, you see the contact right here. Referee Marcos de Oliveira calls it a yellow card. And Kevin Stott, the VAR, does not send him to the monitor. So we've got to check this one for violent conduct, and that's going to come down to whether or not the elbow from Hadebe is deliberate, because the contact to the head and non-negligible force is not up for debate. So, was it deliberate by Teenage Hadebe? Just as we did over the weekend with Nick Haglund and Emmanuel Latte-Loff, I'm always going to take the whole play into account. So if you rewind it back, there are some befores here, some physicality that sets the tone. And on the first couple looks, including live, my violent conduct alert systems were going off. However, the close-up angle is the one that convinced me definitively that yellow is the correct call here. Hadebe isn't swinging at or into the head of Musa. For me, he's lifting his arm up and over to, as Devin Kerr states on the call, re-establish dominant position. I see his eyes tracking the ball, not the man, and the contact is forearm and wrist. If it was elbow, that might suggest something else to me. In the end, it hurts for Musa, but I've got yellow card as the correct decision. Well done to the crew. I'm not so sure this challenge from Matt Polster in the DC New England game is a yellow card as it was called on the field. 23rd minute, Polster's late, he's going in hard, and even Polster knows how bad this challenge is. Pierre-Luc Lauzier, the referee, gives it a yellow card, and Jose Carlos Rivero, the VAR, does not recommend review. But look, I've got clear and obvious, serious foul play and a red card. Late lunge with force, straight leg by Polster, studs exposed, and into the upper ankle of the DC player, Boris Enow. That is excessive force and endangering the safety of Enow, period. Think about if Enow is planting that foot as opposed to sort of getting side contact on the ground. If his foot is planted and it's stuck, that is a potential broken leg. Pierre-Luc Lauzier is in position to make this call, and if he doesn't make it, and he doesn't, Jose Carlos Rivero has to recommend that for review in my opinion. Polster knows. You can tell by his body language. He understands how poor this challenge is. It should have been a red card for me. And ain't no doubt about this red card for violent conduct on Cesar Araujo. Atlanta, Orlando, 77th minute. Cesar, what are we doing? Why are we doing it? Warren Barton on the call said it best. I can't believe what I've just seen. When you go over to an opposing player off the ball and you put your hands around their neck, you are going to see red. Philip Duich, the referee, has no choice. The red card comes out and Araujo is off, and rightfully so. 3 plays from Portland, Colorado to end things off. First up, this Maxu handball in the first half. It was called on the field by Chris Pinto as a handball, and no review was initiated by Jose Carlos Rivero, who was also the VAR in this game. And live, it looked, keyword, like a handball. Arm raised, sliding, and the way the ball deflects down suggests it hit the arm. But it wasn't so clear on the second looks. Rapid supporters blew me up. They were sure this was not a handball. Now, the issue is the angles. The only angle that I have that actually helps me see exactly what happens is the one inside the goal. So it's not a great angle. It's far away. It's through a net. You get the picture. So for me, it's safe to say it's never going to be clear and obvious enough for Jose Carlos Rivero, the VAR, to recommend review. However, I am not bound by clear and obvious on instant replay. I've got to give an opinion, and to me, based on that angle in the goal, I'm not seeing contact with the arm. I don't see the ball deflecting and changing direction at the point it would have had it hit arm. I see it doing those things as it hits chest/chin or face, and that's when the ball goes down for me, and the trajectory is changed. I don't think a handball occurs here, and hey, ball don't lie. Felipe Mora must have agreed, because he hit this one right at the keeper. All right, 67th minute. Remember, earlier in the show, we went through the checklist for serious foul play. So, you want to see it? This is Wayne Fredericks showing you. It's textbook stuff. The Rapids player, well, it's really ugly, and let's go through the checklist together. Leaving your feet, lunge, way late, way high, studs exposed, into the leg of the opposing player with force. That is a red card and serious foul play. Chris Pinto does the only thing he can and should. He reaches for the back pocket. And we got a fun one to end things. 94th minute, Calvin Harris on an electric run. And did Diego Chara foul him in the box? Is this a penalty? Call on the field is no foul, no penalty. So let's take a close look at a play that is very close to being a penalty. Heck, it might even be one. So look, Harris makes an incredible play here, and he's driving into the box, and Chara is just behind. He's not in great position. So first contact is the bump to the back of the left shoulder of Harris. If that's where you're saying the foul occurs, well, it would be outside the area, but that's not the end of it. There's more, and potentially more contact. Does Chara make contact with the left leg of Harris as well? I think there is contact from the right foot of Chara to the left ankle of Harris, but it is slight. Check out these freeze frames here. Bingo. Yeah, right there. That one's even clearer. So even though the contact is slight, at speed, slight contact is all it takes to send an attacker to ground, and it would be a foul. But then, as Ross Smith and Jake Zivin on the call rightfully discussed, the question is, where is that contact occurring? And I've got it just outside the area. Certainly not clearly and obviously in, which is what it would take for Jose Carlos Rivero to recommend review. So for me, I've got a foul, but not a penalty, and I would never expect Jose Carlos Rivero to get involved. I'm okay with the way this one ended. All right, that's it for us for Matchday 16. Matchday 17 is on the other side. I'll catch you on Sunday Night Soccer in Seattle. Minnesota is in town, and I'll catch you anywhere you want to send me instant replay nominations. Remember, and some of you get it, the game, the minute, and a description. It is so helpful, and it makes sure I check the calls that you want me to. All right, big thanks to my editor, Aldo Medina, and my producer, Rich Hernandez. I'm Andrew Wiebe. We'll see you next time.